We're going to save the republic. That said, coming up, the most devastating information I've gotten in months. Every few months, news comes out confirming our worst fears. We already know the New World Order architecture, but we are studying their timeline. Where are they on their timeline? What trick are they going to pull next in their architecture of destroying the family, bringing in the tyranny and the soft kill system? We have gotten intel that is mainstream media that is devastating and shakes me to my core. The enemy is moving faster than I thought. That is coming up in the final segment of this hour before our guest is in studio with us, and we'll take calls when she's on with us as well. Parents are to be banned from being with their children. You will be government licensed to be able to have children. This is the one-child policy. This is starting in England. And when I saw this and read the articles during the last few breaks, it shook me. Hell is being released. These people are worse than I thought running things. You know, you want to think the more extreme of them say abolish the family, raise the kids in dormitories, but then you realize it's already happening. Everything this book, Ecoscience, talks about as government policy is what they're implementing and more. I want to talk to Ted Anderson, though. He's been one of the biggest financial supporters of Ron Paul. He spent over $300,000 just on the Ron Paul Air Force with banners flying all over the country. People then found out about liberty and freedom. They then found this show. Ron Paul said that half of his support in the first 6 months of his campaign came from this show. We were the embryonic support system for the Ron Paul presidential zygote to grow into a healthy fetus. Now it's a young man up on its hind legs and filled with strength. We're going to put all our blood and courage and energy into Ron Paul. And through him, we win either way as a vehicle to enlighten and awaken. But Ted, I know you just heard my little speech about drafting Ron Paul. I know Ron Paul. I know his heart. I know his mind. If he is healthy, he will run for president. But do you agree with me he needs to launch in the next 6 months to get the jump on everybody else?
Oh, I agree with you completely, Alex. Ron Paul has really made a statement that just stands way out beyond any other politician out there, and everything he said has come true. And there is no question in my mind, or I think anybody in the entire nation's mind, that Ron Paul is on the right track to really take care of the problems of this country. And finally, people are waking up. Last time he ran, the media made fun and jokes about what he was all about, and then he loses the election, but next thing you know, Fox News has him up saying, oh, you said this, and this is what happened. Oh, you said that would happen, and it did. Why didn't we listen to you then? Rather than making jokes about him and his ideas and philosophies, now I'm sure a lot of these people will get behind him, and it should be a pretty easy race for him.
Absolutely, Ted. I got you on to talk about gold. It hit a ceiling of 145 to 1,045 to 1,055 for about a month, or close to a month. Then the banks tried to hammer it down. It's exploded like a beach ball underwater again. You still have the gold and silver at the $1,000 level when the markets were at 1,000, when silver was at 12 and change, now up at 17. I wanted to just give people an opportunity again to get out of some of the stocks and bonds and cruddy paper and derivatives, and to get into some gold and silver at a great introductory price that is just so good, there's not even words to describe how good the deal is.
Well, that's the thing, Alex. I mean, remember the British sovereign and the franc went up a little bit during that time period. I still have the tens down at that lower price. But, you know, the thing is I was able to back down on some of my prices. I was able to buy in here in the 1,020 range, and gold has shot up over $40 today. And so, you know, I feel like a genius, but I really am not. I just buy when the market dips. I mean, it doesn't take a rocket scientist to figure out that Washington hasn't solved their problems yet. I mean, they're just creating more, and they're going to drive this country right into the toilet, along with the central banks of the world and this whole world government thing. It should make anybody nervous. Yeah, right now you should be buying gold and silver, and you should get as far away from fiat currency as you can. This is the end of the run. Fiat currency comes through the process of debt. We have gone so far into debt that we can no longer even afford to service the interest on the debt.
And the bankers do this to take over society, and now the very same bankers that engineered this, the very same people are posing as our saviors to totally take over the free market. They're hijacking every major industry. This is going to give the private Fed unlimited power. England already has this, grabbing people's property, private corporations. This is hellish, Ted. People need to at least protect themselves in silver and gold. Give them today's coin offers.
Yeah, today's offer is going to be the franc at 236, which was 238 before. British sovereigns are at 291, which were at 293 before.
So it's even lower than when the market was at 1,000. You're going... Oh, okay. Wow.
I came back on that price. The Lakota Nation coins I still have at 22.30. But remember those walkers I kept talking about buying? They're gone now. Everything, I've sold out 100% of that inventory. As a matter of fact, I'm a little short and I'm trying to find them.
I know. I bought a bag of them from you.
Yeah, that's how tight that market got. And I just need to tell you right now, Alex, at this particular time, I mean, gold took a little bit of a dip here. We had about 3 or 4 days to buy it cheap, and all of a sudden here it goes racing back upwards again. People almost get lulled into sleep. They think, yay, the economy is going to be great again. And next thing you know, whack. Gold goes up.
Well, that's the media lying. And I was watching CNN this morning, and they go, in the new system, you don't have a job, but the economy's better because the banks are doing good. See, only the banks, as long as they do good, everything's fine, according to the controlled corporate media. So those are some great deals on silver and gold. Folks should give your brokers a call at 800-686-2237. 800-686, there it is on the screen, 800-686-2237, or the bouncing ball, like on TV when you were a kid. 800-686-2237. Remember those old cartoons?
Yeah,
Hartman?
That was something, wasn't it?
800, that was something. 800-686-2237. The brokers will be there till midnight. And, Ted, how long can you hold this deal?
Well, we're holding it today. We'll watch it, see what happens with gold here.
800-686-2237. Ted, you going to support Ron Paul for President 2012?
I've been supporting him after he lost his election. I'm his main sponsor for all of his events.